Welcome to Unsettled, a podcast dedicated to the dark, morbid mysteries of humanity. Mysteries that some forget like yesterday's headlines, and that plagues others for eternity. My name is Quentin George, your ferryman on your tourist visit across the River Styx. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Mystery of Terrorized Terry. It's September 1st, 1973. The leaves are beginning to turn the slightest shade of brown while winter winds prep their arrival. A young teen, 15 years old, by the name of Terrence Sputter, walks down the street. He prefers if you call him Terry. Terrence is too formal. Reminds him too much of those adults he yearns so dearly not to be. He spent his hot end-of-summer day doing what any 15-year-old boy does to make money, mowing lawns. After hours of work, sweat drips to his brow and clings to the edge of a follicle for dear life. He wipes the sweat from his brow and sighs so contently to be done with his work for the day. Terry waits on the curb for his mother to pick him up, but she has always been the forgetful type. After what seemed like the entirety of the day, Terry stands up proudly, feeling his back clench after being hunched over the lawnmower all day. He decides he will just walk home. Terry gets home and freshens up. He has big plans for the night. Him and his friends are going to go catch a movie and then go bowling. His mother, feeling bad for forgetting about him, offers to take him into town for it. Knees creaking from all the pushing they did today, Terry happily accepts. So his mother whisks him into town and drops him off, reminding Terry he is to stay at his grandmother's tonight and his curfew is 11. Terry ecstatically agrees, eager to set off and meet his friends. His mother hopes he remembers, but is sure he will since Terry has always been a great kid. Her eyes linger for another second before driving off, leaving Terry to his big plans. That was the last time she ever saw Terry alive. The next day, his parents were shocked to hear that he did not stay the night at his grandmother's. This is very unlike Terry. He was never a difficult kid. He was the type of kid to understand his boundaries and limits and never go against the rigid rules set by his caring parents. He knew they were always in his best interest. His family, knowing something must have been up, immediately went out searching for him. They contacted the police for help, but the police get calls like this all the time. They think the kid just wanted to ditch school, so he's holed up somewhere for the day, having a great time. That afternoon, a tourist roams the beaches of Lake Michigan, fascinated by the beauty that is one of the Great Lakes. Everyone is enjoying their time on this sunny day. He has walked by plenty of people sunbathing, relaxing, and having a beautiful time. He chuckles as he looks up ahead and sees another person enjoying the day. As he gets closer, he realizes the situation and immediately calls 911. Terry was found dead on the beach of Lake Michigan. Upon the discovery of Terry's body, the initial thought was that Terry fell from a nearby cliff and into the Lake Michigan, later washing up on shore. But the inspection on his body proved otherwise. To confirm a drowning, the body is examined, and if water is found within the lungs, they drowned. Terry's lungs were not filled with water, nor the warm breath you'd hope to find, but instead piles of sand clogging his throat as if it were hair in a drain. Around his head and neck, a scatterplot of bruises swarmed. The sockets of his eyes held the deep brown eyes that warmed his parents' hearts, but were now blurred by the encumbrance of sand riddled within. His parents mourned the loss of one of their kids, but the comfort of finding him is better than the thought of a permanent mystery as to where he could have been. Or so they thought. The story does not just end here for Terry and his family. His funeral was meant to be the dreary resolution to this melancholic plot, but the story goes on. Somebody relentlessly vandalized the grave of Terence Sputter. His headstone constantly broken and defaced. Flower pots meant to remember his kind spirit smashed to enough pieces to make it something else entirely. And even the bush planted by his mourning sister was upheaved from the ground. An insult added to this relentless and eternal injury. Finally, his parents decided that Terry must live in an unmarked grave, for even in death, someone was out to get him. Why was Terence Sputter near Lake Michigan on a night meant for movies and bowling? Why would someone murder this poor, innocent boy? And why would someone vandalize the grave of the once young and now dead?